I'd like to call this meeting of the Harriman City Council of May 19th, 2020 to order. Before we get started, we'll have a prayer of Councilman Wright followed by a pledge of allegiance to the flag. I want everyone to know that this meeting is held under the special authority granted by the Governor's executive order and not open to the public. It will be live streamed on Facebook and YouTube. Councilman Wright.
Shall we pray? Our Heavenly Father, as we begin our council meeting today, Father, we pray for your Spirit to guide our thoughts and actions, and may all that we do be pleasing to you and the people that we represent. Lord, we ask a special blessing upon the Helms family during this period of mourning for loss. And Lord, so many families are suffering. May your Spirit be with each of them. Continue to protect our people as they go about doing their job. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Alicia Harris.
Here.
Buddy Holly.
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Kenyon Meade.
Here.
Sam Russell.
Here.
Lonnie Wright.
Here.
I'd like to declare a quorum. Need a motion to approve the minutes of the May 5th, 2020 meeting?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mee, second by Councilman Johnson. Councilman Mee.
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Kenyon Meade.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. Motion to pay the bills?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Russell.
Second.
Second by Councilman Holly. Councilman Russell.
No, sir.
Councilman Holly. Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Kenyon Meade.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. This time we'll hear a couple of reports. Dr. Carter.
Okay. Since our last meeting, I did set up an LGIP account for the lighting project on Interstate. I transferred $75,000 to that account, although the amount that we expect to spend is around just a little under $70,000 for the engineering part. I did notify the Assistant Director of Investment and the Finance Administrator for DOT with a signed contract for them to go ahead and proceed, indicating that we had deposited the money. Now, DOE can undertake the engineering and design work. It's just a matter of when they get back in their offices and begin that work. In addition to that, participated in a discussion with HUB on the various resolutions you'll see here tonight. And if you have any questions, we have enough people here to answer those. And so we will basically plan on publishing what's called an initial resolution in Roane County News. That gives at least 10% of the voters sign a petition objecting. They can do that. They have 20 days to do that. That's all I have.
Okay. Anybody have anything for the for Dr. Carter? Thanks, sir. City Attorney.
So earlier this year, the City Council approved the mayor to sign a joint bid agreement for the county to also sell the delinquent tax properties for Harriman. We were supposed to have a sale in March for the 2013 properties, and that sale was postponed due to the current situation with COVID-19 and social distancing. So that is going to be reset for next year. I don't have a date yet, but that'll be 2013 properties and probably also 2014 properties we'll be looking at for delinquent tax sales. I also have about 6 cases with county codes that are pending in Chancery Court, and I have them set for June 15th at 9 a.m. in Chancery Court. If you want to know the property owners and addresses, I have those. So hopefully we can make some progress on getting them cleaned up if they're not already cleaned up. And then I have probably about 6 more pending. We just can't catch up with the property owners to get them served. So we're looking on new addresses or the heirs if the owner has deceased. So that's kind of where we are with codes.
Anybody have anything for the city attorney? I've got a couple of questions real quick. You sent out an update to myself and the city manager and some folks in the county. Why do you not send that out to the city council members as far as an update as to what you're doing?
It's not to not inform them. I just usually communicate with the city manager and the mayor. If you want me to add council, I certainly can. It's not to keep them.
I think a lot of the properties are properties that they've asked about, and they call me, and I'm thinking that they got the update, but they didn't get the update. So I think it'd be good if they got an update as to what properties were taken to court, what we're doing with them, how they come out, instead of come in and just a vague report about we've got some properties pending.
Yeah, I usually include the city officials, that'll be witnesses in court or like codes enforcement, because they need to go by the properties and see what the status is. But I have no issue including council. I'll make sure I have emails for everybody.
One more thing, I had sent you a response to a piece of property that we have in court that I didn't know we had in court. I don't know the council knew we had in court. I don't even know why we have them in court. I knew we've been dealing with it, but I didn't know we had them in court. The property down on 27, where the hole is. And I'd asked about us trying to work this out instead of going to court and stuff, and told you I had talked to the attorney. I talked to the attorney back in February about this case. Well, not this case, but just about the problem, the issues. And he asked me if I could sit down and discuss it with him, and I said, yeah, I'd be glad to. If we can do that and resolve the issue, that's what we're going to do. We're going to work with somebody. And when you sent that out, my response was, I feel like we need to work with them and do that. And you said that's not a good idea without counsel. And in the meantime, you sent that attorney, in my opinion, a nasty letter on my behalf that I didn't ask you to do.
Well, I was sending it on behalf of the city. I'm not blaming you as the mayor or anybody.
The city council don't even know about it.
Right. Well, I'm counsel of record on this case that was filed in February, and that property has underlying issues that have been going on for years, that codes and city officials have met with the property owners and HEB multiple times before this was brought to me to file in the court. So I filed in February. The parties were served shortly after that and hadn't made any movement on the case, so I filed a motion for default judgment, and then that's when this attorney filed a notice of appearance. It's just professional rules of conduct to go through counsel. He knew that I'm an attorney on the case. I have no issue having a conversation to do settlement negotiations, and we tried that with the parties before ever filing in court, and there's been no movement for months and years, and it's affecting HEB, it's affecting public right-of-ways, it's affecting a neighboring property owner and the subject properties themselves.
And I agree, and I think that we've all probably been down and looked at the property and tried to figure out a way to fix the property, help with the property, do what we need to do to fix it. I think we've all done that, and we may all agree that we need to be going in this direction. The problem that I have is if my name is put on it or the council's name is put on it, I feel like they should get a copy of that letter to show exactly what was said to that attorney from the city of Harriman that we don't know anything about. I think that is good practice, in my opinion. I haven't talked to the council, so they're probably still unaware of what I'm even talking about. But when a letter is sent that is putting another attorney on strict notice not to talk to me, I feel like I should be told that you put an attorney on strict order not to talk to me. I'm a mayor, I can talk to, I'm not discussing the case. If we can help the people and we can work it out, I want to work it out. I don't want people to think that Harriman is a place that no matter what you do, we're going to take you to court and we're going to sue you. And I looked for the codes update today, and we didn't get a codes update. So I didn't know what was going on. And when I got that, I was kind of blindsided. I just feel like that we need to have better communication. If council's name is going to be on something, they should be aware of it. If my name is going to be on something, I should be aware of it before it is sent. So I can ask questions as to why are we doing this, what are we doing, what's going on. I don't have a problem with you being the attorney and doing those things as long as we're aware of what's going on and still be called out. This attorney, which is probably everybody in here's friend, because everybody in Rowan County is friends with everybody, for them to snub us and we don't even know what's going on, why are they snubbing us? So I just think that it would be a good practice to know when our name has been put on something, and in your letter, it says that, the letter is false anyway. It says that it has come to my attention since May 11th, 2020, you have had direct communication with the mayor. Where did you get that?
That was from an email I received
From who?
last night.
From me? Did it say a date?
It said, I received a communication yesterday. I believe it was your personal email. And so that's what I took as the communication.
Did it say as of May 11th?
It didn't say as May 11th, but there wasn't as much context to that. But
You didn't email me back and ask me. You didn't call me? You didn't pick the phone up and call and say, Mayor, when did he communicate with you? When did he talk to you? When did he do any of this before we sent out this letter? That, in my opinion, is just, I just think it's bad on the city's part. I just think that council should know when their name is attached to something, when my name is attached to something, give me the benefit to let me know. If you have a question as to when it is, just ask me. I mean, I've got an open door policy. I talk to anybody, I'm around all day, and I'm not trying to be, but this is the only place I can talk to all the council at one time, and I hate that. I hate that it has to be out there, but I think that we need to know what we're doing and what's going on, because I think a lot of times we're blindfolded. We don't know half of what's going on, and some things we probably don't need to know. But when you're dealing with people that live in the community and work in the community, we should know when we're blasting back at them that we didn't have any part of it.
And there's just rules of professional conduct when it's filed in court. Communication goes through the council of record and the attorneys. And I hadn't received anything else. And
I get it, but your letter is just false because you said he's talked to me since May 11th. I haven't talked to him since May 11th. This was back in February. And I was asking, could we just talk about that?
Have we, as a council, decided to send that to court?
I don't even know what it's in court for. I don't even know what we're doing.
it's to repair the property because it's in violation.
So are we suing somebody?
Yes, the two property owners need to repair their property, bring it up to code and make it safe, or demolish the property. So if they don't fix it, we have taken it to court to request the city have court authorization to do the repairs and tax the cost as a lien against the property. And that's what I've been doing for city codes. That's how city codes operates and has been doing.
May I ask, is it the one behind CVS, that the only, we had one on Earth and we had one on the Pansy Hill and
You said 27, 27?
27, yeah, the one behind CVS,
I thought they came to us to ask us for help with it. We didn't go to them over, that's how it initially started.
the last I was told, HEB had met with them and Kevin had met with them and talked to them, and that's the last communication I had, was working with them. Do you know anything else, Candace, as to?
The last meeting I had, the last conversation I had about it was with the consultant engineer out of Knoxville that the property owners hired to sort of try to help mediate the situation, and we were hopeful that there would be a mutual agreement between the city of Harriman and the two property owners, and everybody would sort of share a cost of fixing the situation. But then the property owner that was really facilitating that conversation, he just really stopped communicating altogether, and we never got a response back.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I was knowing what you were talking about.
All right, thank you, ma'am. We're going to new business. First item, discuss and possibly approve resolution R0520-01. Initial resolution authorizing the insurance of note to exceed not to exceed $2,500,000 general obligation bonds of the city of Harriman, Tennessee. Just everyone, we had a workshop last week with HEB, and we discussed this in length and talked about it. They explained exactly what they was using the money for, where it was going, and there's where it's at. Motion to approve.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Meade. Second?
I second it.
Second by Councilman Johnson. Councilman Meade.
Can you tell us, can I yield the floor to Candace, what's this one for? The,
The first resolution.
So,
yes, if you could.
the first resolution is for the utilities, not to exceed $2.5 million. The resolution you had before you is the initial resolution. That resolution is required under state law, and the purpose of it is, if you adopt the resolution tonight, that resolution basically will be published in the Rowan County News, and that resolution allows for the 20-day protest period. So, under state law, citizens have a right to protest the issuance of the debt. Obviously, in this case, the money's going to be going for the utilities, and the utilities will be paying the money back through revenues, whether it's the electric department, water sewer department, or gas department. So really, even though we'll put the taxing power behind it, we won't be using tax revenue to pay the debt, but there is the protest period. So that's the purpose of the first resolution.
Okay. I guess, Candace, is any of this going to be, how's this affecting rate paying? Is it any changes to rates due to, have this, or is this funds available that you've already got set aside to be able to pay it back?
So the bulk of the $2.5 million is 1.7 million dedicated to our gas project. And it could be a little bit more or less, but that's what we anticipate the total cost being between construction, engineering, inspection, and the paving costs that we're going to share with the city. So the 1.7 million, we're not proposing any impact at all on the gas rates. We've got that budgeted. The repayment is within our budget without having to take any rate action. The water and sewer is a little bit different story. We actually are looking at doing rate action regardless of whether we borrow these funds or not. At a minimum, we're going to use this $2.5 million to cover the Bullard Ford Road project, and then the other two projects, I'm not guaranteeing you that we're going to finish them or that we're going to do them as part of this. We have the ability to do them. They're in our budget, and we're trying to see what's the best way to execute those projects, whether it'll be this coming fiscal year or the following one.
Okay, is this for just your all's portion of the Bullard Ford, as long as you get the...
This would be 25% of the total cost, which is what we're expected to share with NRCS. And this is just for our part of the project. Of course, that overall project will be bid at the same time as the city park.
Okay.
Councilman, just to point out too, that as part of this overall plan, this would be a drawdown type note. And so to the extent a project is not done, then the funds would need to be drawn. If the board decides to move forward, and they'll have to still, even though we put the financing in place, the board's still going to have to vote to move forward at some point. And so if they do decide to move forward, then this would be enough funds to get those projects started. And then eventually, whether it's three months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, we will circle all back up again and figure out a way to permanently finance this. So this is really a mechanism to keep the utilities' cash position up, especially during the COVID-19, just because of all the uncertainty, and giving them time to pull all these projects together. So before we go out and permanently finance them on a 10, 15, 20, 25-year basis, and we can make that decision for each electric, water, sewer, and gas department as we move forward.
Okay.
Any other comments, sir?
No, that's it.
Councilman Johnson?
From the meeting we had the other day with Candace explaining everything that we're going to get fixed as far as water, sewer, and Bullford Road and all that, it's really going to need to be done, because if we don't do it down the road, it's going to cost probably a whole lot more than that to repair everything. So I believe it should be done. That's all I've got.
Floor is open for any other discussion.
Would you care to explain how the money can and can't be used like we did in the meeting the other day?
Sure. So this utility piece, the resolution is fairly broad, but the authority to borrow the money really comes back to the utility board, and their board would have to approve, each specific project for each division. And then to the extent, like I said, it's a drawdown note, so once their board approves it, they have the authority to go out up to $2.5 million and pull that money down for each of these projects. Once the money is spent, or once we decide, once we have a bigger list of projects and have the final engineering cost in, then we can continue to move forward with this mechanism and paying for them, or we can circle back up and permanently finance them and go out and do a long-term piece of debt that's locked in at a fixed rate. So you really can think about this like if you were doing a home construction project and you needed some temporary financing before you got your mortgage in place. This is kind of to pay for the cash flow and get it built, and then once you have it built, you would go back to the bank and say, okay, my house is built, here's what it's appraised for, I want to do a 30-year standard mortgage or something. So we're basically in that in-between time. We're starting the construction, but we're not really ready to permanently finance it, so this will give us the cash flow to do that. Does that answer the question? Perfect.
Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Alicia Harris,
Yes.
Buddy Holly,
Yes.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Kenyon Me,
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion approved. Next item. Discuss and possibly approve R0520-03, resolution authorizing the issuance of interest-bearing general obligation bond anticipation notes in the agreed principal amount of not to exceed $2.5 million of the city of Harriman, Tennessee, making provisions for the insurance, sale, and payment of said notes, establishing the terms thereof and the disposition of the proceeds therefrom, and providing the levy of taxes for the payment of the principal and interest of the notes. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Russell, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Holly. Councilman Russell.
Counselor.
Councilman Holly. Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Alicia Harris,
Yes.
Buddy Holly,
Yes.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Kenyon Me,
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve resolution R0520-04. Initial resolution authorizing the insurance of not to exceed $1,200,000 general obligation bonds of the city of Harriman, Tennessee. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson. Second.
I second.
Second by Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
I don't have anything.
Floor is open for discussion.
Dr. Curry, could you talk generally about this so the public knows?
Yes, this particular amount of money is related to the lighting project. Since the lighting project is a grant, and we will be matching by an amount of over $700,000 of this drawdown potential. Given our experience with DOT, sometimes the project moves fairly slowly, and therefore we don't draw the money down until we need it. And we will draw it down as we need it to put into the local government investment pool from which DOT draws money when they bill us. In addition to that, we do have money incorporated in to reimburse ourselves for this building. And we also have an additional $200,000 that will be devoted to, I think, the project like a Riverfront Park project. And so it's a drawdown. In 2 years, we have to go back. We have to pay it off. So we have to come back with either a loan from a different route or with a bond issue by HUB. We can either stay together or split apart, depending how we want to do it. And so these resolutions basically provide the opportunity to draw down money for our match for lighting primarily. Is that an answer?
Does the Riverfront Park portion tie into what Candace and them are doing with Bullard Ford on that grant? Is that what it is?
It's the same thing, yes.
I just want to make sure I know what we're talking about.
Any other discussion? Call roll, please.
Alicia Harris,
Yes.
Buddy Holly,
Yes.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Kenny Me,
Yes.
Sam Russell,
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item. Discuss and possibly approve resolution R0520-05, a resolution authorizing the insurance of interest-bearing general obligation bond anticipation notes in the principal amount of not to exceed $1.2 million of the city of Harriman, Tennessee, making provisions for the insurance sale and payment of said notes, establishing the terms thereof and the disposition of proceeds therefrom, and providing for the levy of taxes for the payment of principal of and interest of the notes. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Wright, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Holly. Councilman Wright.
No, sir.
Councilman Holly.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Alicia Harris,
Yes.
Buddy Holly,
Yes.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Kenny Me,
Yes.
Sam Russell,
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. This is all the new business. We're going to council remarks. Councilman Holly.
No, sir.
Councilman Russell.
No, sir.
Councilman Wright.
No, sir.
Councilman Meade.
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
No, sir.
And I don't have any tonight. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Russell, second. Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign?
Call a regular monthly meeting of the Rockwood City Council to order. This time I'd ask that you stand for the prayer by Mr. Ishman and remain standing for the flag. Mr. Ishman.
Thank you for this day. We thank you for watching over us and watching over the city during this virus issue and protecting us from the deaths that has happened all across the country. And we just thank you for an opportunity to be part of this city and to see the projects that are ongoing and the work that's being done. And we thank you for this council, and we ask you to watch over us tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call roll, Madam Secretary.
Councilman Anderson.
Here.
Councilman Bryant.
Here.
Councilman Fuller.
Here.
Councilman Holloway.
Here.
Councilman Jolly.
Here.
Councilman True.
Here.
Mayor Miller.
Here, all present, we do have a quorum. You received the minutes from the April 27th, 2020 meeting. Is there any additions or corrections? If I hear none, do I hear a motion to be approved?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Holloway, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Bryant. Councilman Holloway.
Yes.
Councilman Bryant. Anyone? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? And the ayes have it. Next item is presentation and approval of financials 2020, April 2020. Do I hear a motion to be approved?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman True. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Fuller. Councilman True.
I'd like to yield the floor to Ms. Ruthie.
Ms. Rupi.
You should have a copy of all the banking information in the general fund at the end of April. On April 30th, we had a balance of $761,553.73. Reserve and emergency, $169,308.53. TVA Foundation Fund, $16,136.54. Payroll Fund, $777.86. The Police Drug Fund, $37,591.37. State Street Aid, $112,561.62. Small Drug Fund, $807.54. Special Revenue, which is our grant fund, $154,413.16. Capital Projects, $33,506.09. And then our capital investments in Raymond James, $361,273.92. You also have a copy of all the revenues and expenditures for the month of April and a copy of all the checks that were written. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Councilman True, anything further?
Nothing.
Councilman Fuller.
No, sir.
Anyone? Ms. Rupi, have we got any more information in from the state? Any more payments so we can start getting an idea of what kind of
No, we're still on track. I mean, we haven't seen the check yet. We hadn't got March's state check yet, so it'll be, April's state check yet. It should be any time, but we're still on track.
Okay. Anything further? Call roll.
Councilman Anderson?
Yes.
Councilman Bryant?
Yes.
Councilman Fuller?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway?
Yes.
Councilman Jolly?
Yes.
Councilman True?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes, and the ayes have it. Public comments, we always like to open the floor to anyone from the public who'd like to address the mayor and council. This will be the only time unless a council member yields the floor to you. Anyone? Committee reports. Do we have any committee reports tonight? I know most committees haven't been able to meet because of this, so just wanted to check. No old business. Moving on to new business. Open and consideration of fuel farm improvement bids. I need a motion to allow us to open the bids.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Jolly. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman True. Councilman Jolly.
No.
Councilman True.
No.
Anyone? This is a motion to open the bids. Ms. Ruby, we call roll.
Councilman Anderson?
Yes.
Councilman Bryant?
Yes.
Councilman Fuller?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway?
Yes.
Councilman Jolly?
Yes.
Councilman True?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. We have one bid. And it's from Rebel Services. Okay, let me make sure I understand this right. I think there's a base bid, and then there's some alternatives that we consider if we have enough money. So the base bid is $82,453. The alternatives, new filter vessel or something is $14,008. Replace black iron piping for stainless steel piping is, for Jet A, is $8,587. Same price for doing it for the other, $85.87. Prep and paint Jet A and the other tank and associated piping. Airport is responsible for ensuring tanks are empty prior to tank painting. That's $42.5. What I'd like to recommend to the council is that I appoint a committee of Ms. Ruppy, Councilman True, Councilman Jolly, and David. They are on the airport committee. And at the motion state, if the committee approves this bid and TDOT approves this bid, that we go forward with it. That way they don't have to bring it back to us. We've got it done. The only problem I see, and hopefully it won't be one, is there's only one bid, and sometimes they're really particular about that, but I don't know anything else to do. We put it out and handled it. But I'd like for the motion to be, and let the committee look at it, make sure it meets our specs, how much money we have available, if they want to do any of the alternatives, the add-ons, any of those, as long as it's within our budget. How much did we get?
100,000.
100,000, so we're about 18,000 under if we go with a base bid. And the match is what, 5%? Our part's 5%. But I'd like the motion to say we'll let the committee look at it, make sure it meets all specs, and if they approve it, then send it to TDOT, and if they approve it, we go with it.
So moved, Mayor.
Motion by Councilman Holloway. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Fuller. Councilman Holloway.
No.
Councilman Fuller.
Sounds like a good plan.
Anyone else? And this is just to allow that, if we don't, this not having this ready and new is costing us money. Because we can get this and get the card reader, we're gonna pick up, and people won't have to have one of us up there or one of them up there to get the fuel and stuff. So this is really important, and this gets it going. Anything further? Call the roll.
Councilman Anderson?
Yes.
Councilman Bryant?
Yes.
Councilman Fuller?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway?
Yes.
Councilman Jolly?
Yes.
Councilman True?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes, and the ayes have it. Ms. Ruppy, I'm gonna put this bid back in here, and you all can get me on it, okay? Do you need this too? Next item on the agenda is resolution approving to hire Mitchell, Emmert, and Eel to conduct the city's audit for the fiscal year ending 2019-2020. Let me say, I would like to ask y'all to approve this, but I want you to know that I think this needs to be the last year. And it's not because they don't do a fabulous job, they do. But when you've been in this as long as I have, a lot of times they'll tell you, you don't need to use the same one over and over and over. And they've done a fabulous job. I think now they're doing the water, sewer, and gas, aren't they? They do a great job, but the only reason I'm recommending it this year is because we just finished those grants up, and we're getting a lot of that out of the way, and they're real familiar with that, so it'll make it easier on Becky and Belinda and make it easier on them. So I would like you to know that I think we need to put it out for bid next year and take proposals. So I recommend that we use Mitchell, Emmert, and Hill to conduct the audit next year. What's the will of the council?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Jolly. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Bryant. Councilman Jolly.
Nothing.
Councilman Bryant. Anyone? Call roll.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilman Bryant,
Yes.
Councilman Fuller,
Yes.
Councilman Holloway,
Yes.
Councilman Jolly,
Yes.
Councilman True,
Yes.
Mayor Miller.
Yes, and the ayes have it. Next item is Resolution 2016, a resolution concerning an unopened, undeveloped portion of Montague Street, is what I call it. Okay, and I may need Mr. Lefferts or Mr. Ishman to chime in here, but I'm gonna do the best I can. We have a unopened portion of a street that runs between two houses, and it goes down to an ends by another house. It's been a difficult thing, but they were able to get it done. That street, unopened street that is paved, those people at the bottom have used that as their driveway for years. All the way back to when Buckeye Clem lived there. They've used it. So what they're proposing to do is on the left side is Mr. and Miss Hill. They'll get a certain amount of it. On the right side, I can't remember those people's names, they'll get a certain percent of it. And then on down, those people will get the rest of it. Everybody's in agreement, and they're all in agreement that there'll be an easement forever, so those people can't be blocked getting to their driveway because there's no entrance from Kingston Avenue. The good thing about this is it will put every bit of this back on the tax rolls. And I just think it's a good move. I think Mr. Lefferts and Mr. Richmond have done a tremendous job. Harold has met with everybody involved, and they've all agreed to it. We've got the documents ready to sign, and I just think it would be a good thing. Y'all can look on your map that came before the planning commission. We looked at it. We're very satisfied with it. I just think it's a good thing, and again, we're able to get more property on the tax rolls. What's the will of the council?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Fuller. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman True. Councilman Fuller, would you like to yield to either one of these, or?
Sure.
Greg, do you have anything you want to say, or did I explain it correctly?
No, you explained it well, unless there's any questions, but, you know, the folks that are using the driveway portion, they'll retain an easement across the driveway, so they won't be cut off.
All the parties agree, and sounds like a happy little neighborhood there.
Councilman True. Anyone else? Mr. Richmond, do you have anything you need to say about it? Okay. Call roll.
Councilman Anderson.
Yes.
Councilman Bryant.
Yes.
Councilman Fuller.
Yes.
Councilman Holloway.
Yes.
Councilman Jolly.
Yes.
Councilman True.
Yes.
Mayor Miller.
Yes, and the ayes have it. Harold, you and Greg, I appreciate the work y'all put in on that. Those people are really happy. Okay, moving on to Resolution 2017, a resolution to appoint Mike Fuller as one of the 4 check signers for the city of Rockwood effective May 19, 2020 through November 30, 2020. What's the will of the council?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Holloway. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Bryant. Councilman Holloway, you have anything?
Yeah, I think they do a good job with it, Mayor, and it's here close before we get to you, so it'll be good.
Councilman Bryant.
I echo that.
Anyone else? Call the roll.
Councilman Anderson.
Yes.
Councilman Bryant.
Yes.
Councilman Fuller.
Yes.
Councilman Holloway.
Yes.
Councilman Jolly.
Yes.
Councilman True.
Yes.
Mayor Miller.
Yes. And see, here's the funny thing about it. Oh, Fuller's happy about it. He don't understand this.
He won't be long, he won't be.
No! He won't like it at all.
Oh, goodness, well.
Congratulations, or condolences, whatever it may be.
Councilman Jolly and Councilman Holloway have to train him too, so they may not be happy either.
Yeah, that's true. Next item is approval to continue contracting with East Tennessee Development District for city planning services. They do a fine job for us. A guy that's doing it now, the lady that did it for a long time, retired. They make our job a lot easier, don't they, Harold, on the planning commission? They do a fabulous job, and my recommendation is that we enter into a contract with them. What's will of the council?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Jolly. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman True. Councilman Jolly.
I'm just glad that we can lean on them to help us with this. It's a good deal.
Councilman True.
Nothing.
Anyone else? Call roll.
Councilman Anderson?
Yes.
Councilman Bryant?
Yes.
Councilman Fuller?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway?
Yes.
Councilman Jolly?
Yes.
Councilman True?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes, and the ayes have it. Other items is budget amendments. As you know, we have to do these every year. You'll see that we got amendments 7, 9, and 10. These, one of them's animal control, one of them's golf, and the other one's airport. I'd like to get a motion on the floor to approve these all three, and then we'll, if we want to, we can yield to Ms. Rupi and she can go over them in detail. What's will of the council?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Holloway. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Fuller. Councilman Holloway.
Miss Ruby?
Ms. Rupi?
They're pretty self-explanatory. You might wonder why it's 7, 9, and 10. I did 8 at the last time that we did budget amendments and skipped 7, so I went back and picked it up. We usually do these in June, the end of year, but these 3 departments, we wanted to go ahead and get a handle on them early on. So animal control, we changed it, the number of hours, and added health insurance during the year. So we went ahead and fixed that. Golf had a little extra maintenance that they didn't expect this year. So we took it out of operating supplies and fixed it. And then the airport, I don't even know what to say other than every day it changes. And all these amendments are after the former manager left, and we continue to buy fuel and sell fuel. And considering all that we've been through, being able to make, all these amendments are within the current budget. We're not asking for more money on any of them, we're just moving it around. So David keeps continuing to sell fuel. The airport will probably make it. So that's the one that we're watching the most. But these are just and we may have to do another one on these at the end, but it'll be very minor if we do.
Who had the second?
Fuller.
Councilman Fuller, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Councilman Holloway, do you have anything else? I'm sorry. Anyone? I'd just like to say, if you'll turn over to again, these budgets are not increasing any. We're just moving money around where we had different. But if you turn over to the last page, look at our original budget on airport fuel revenue, $300. We've already done one amendment to add $12,700, and now we're doing another amendment to add $19,660. That's how much fuel we're selling out there. So that's the improvement that we've made to be able to do that. So I think that's really, really good. I think we amended it 19,660 more, and we're already past the 12,700. We're at 13,000 and something already, aren't we?
We've done 13,000 already in addition to that 12.
Yeah.
So we've already sold 20.
So we're just 6,000 short of having another amendment. So we are moving forward. And the thing you approved earlier on the fuel farm could be a real help to that too. So things are really, as I told you at the budget meeting, are really looking up there, and we think this is going to become a thing that breaks even or maybe makes revenue. So I think that's a great thing. Anything further on these? Call roll.
Councilman Anderson?
Yes.
Councilman Bryant?
Yes.
Councilman Fuller?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway?
Yes.
Councilman Jolly?
Yes.
Councilman True?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes, and the ayes have it. The next item is, I wanted to give you a little update, or I wanted to give you a recommendation and see if you were okay with it. I would like to see us open the community center and the library and forgot about the basketball courts on June 1. That is a Monday. That gives us another 2.5 weeks to make sure we're good to go, get our schedule set up and all that. But if it's okay with the council, I told you we would try to make a decision on the 18th moving forward, is that we try to open the community center, the library, and the basketball courts on June 1.
Does that include the indoor basketball courts, or we're gonna keep them closed?
No, indoor too.
Okay, all right.
If that's okay with the council, I'm looking for whatever y'all think.
I mean, if we see it starting to rise in the next week or so, you'll stop.
Oh yeah, that gives us some time. We'll relook at it after Memorial Day, and if it looks like we're starting to see a spike, we just won't do it. We'll just keep her closed. The ballparks, we'll make that part of it too. I haven't got to talk to Jacob. They met, as I told you all, the other cities. We all got together, I guess 2 weeks ago now, and met. Me and Mayor Best and the recreation directors about having a summer league, letting these kids play inter-league, and they had another meeting Friday that I wasn't able to go to. I haven't talked to
They
Jacob.
made a decision.
Did they? Are they gonna play?
Harriman is not. Kingston, Rockwood, and Midway want to play everything except baseball.
Baseball.
They're wanting to play. Kingston is going to do softball only. They're not going to do baseball. Kingston's going to do their own baseball thing, but they're going to do softball with everybody else. And all the little kids will be Rockwood, Midway.
Only.
No, there's 3 teams. They're doing, they made a decision, let's just put it that way, I'll let you know what it is. But
So Harriman's
they
out?
want to play about 8 games.
I don't think Harriman's gonna have any
I think
play
Harriman-
at all.
Yeah.
They're not gonna play at all. I heard that before the meeting. It's what Jacob had told me, and I should have called
Kingston's
him
kind of in
today.
another league in their baseball or something, but they are going to do softball. That'll give our girls and others some more people to play, because we didn't have enough to start with. So, but they're going to do like an 8 game instead of a 14, make it smaller.
So the preseason tournaments and all that.
I think
postseason.
they're going to, I think they want to do a tournament stuff, but he can get with you, but they came to an agreement last Friday on play.
Okay. We'll get that out to you in an email, exactly what they're gonna do. I'll find out tomorrow, and I'll talk to Jacob and get with Becky. We'll get that out to you in an email to let you know for sure. Because y'all were so good about it and everything, we are having a prom in downtown Rockwood on the streets, June the 11th, 13th, sponsored by the city of Rockwood. April, Faust, and Becky, and some other ladies, some from the school, are working extremely hard on it. Kids are really excited. I talked to Mr. Brackett, and they had a senior picnic this weekend down at First Baptist Church property. Had a great turnout, did practice the social distancing and all that, and said that the kids were really excited about it, and they appreciated it, and I'm glad that we were able to do it for them. Now let's just hope that it doesn't rain. That's the big thing. So I think it's 6 to 10? 7 to 10 on the 13th, and they're working extremely hard, getting everything set up, I think they've already got a DJ lined up, they're gonna take pictures, all that type of thing. So we're gonna get the police department, fire department help, street department, get things blocked out. So I think it's gonna be really, really good that we're able to do that. So that is gonna happen unless we have bad weather. The next thing I'm gonna talk to you about, and I've had some calls about it, had one today, and I know Becky's had her phone's rung off the hook about it. The pool. People are handling it different. Our problem is, can we get it open without the help of Larry and his inmates? Because they've done it for years and done a fabulous job. They know what to do. He doesn't think that they're going to get out again and he'll be able to bring them down here till maybe the end of the month, which is really going to put us in a bind. So what Becky and I are going to do tomorrow is call Larry, see if we can get him down there. Let us get Jacob, some of his people, and some of maybe Rick's people, and let's look at it and see if we think we can get it done with our people till he gets the inmates again. If we can and he feels comfortable with it, then, and we're going to let Larry make the call whether he thinks we can get it done or not, then we will try to open it. We will try to open it, if that's okay with you all. If he thinks we can't get it done, then we're going to have to look at a later date. If he thinks we're going to get it done, we're going to try to do June 1. If he thinks he needs to wait till he gets his inmates, we're going to think about June 15th. But we have to get it rolling so we can get our lifeguards trained. We've got people calling every day about parties. Can they have a swimming party? So we have to, we've got to tell them something so they can make other arrangements. So that's where we're at with it. We will send you an email after we talk to Larry. He came down and looked at it one day this week, I think this past week, on his own. And he just thinks there's some things need to be done, but we're going to try to get with him tomorrow and probably meet with him Wednesday, or if he can come down tomorrow, we will. But I just wanted to keep you updated where we are on it. And if y'all have any thoughts on it, you can call me, you can call Becky, you can say them now, whatever you want to do, or on any of these things. If you think it's too quick, if you want to do it tomorrow, you need to tell me. I want us to be careful, cautious, and do it the right way. And it would seem like June the 1st on these other things would be okay. That would give us about 2.5 more weeks, maybe. Any comments?
I just wonder, can our staff, and if we get it open, can they handle and maintain it every day until Larry and his guys get back? Because I know they pretty much take care of it, don't they, clean it and all that?
Larry will have to help us make that decision.
Yeah, that's going to be the key. And if Larry gets his people in May, at the end of May, then when we get it open, they'll be here. If that happens, we don't know the answer to that. So that's the big, you're right, that's a big key.
Nashville's making the decision on the inmates. It's not local decision. So.
Any other discussion about community center, the library, the pool, tennis courts, anything?
So it's up to us on the pool deal?
Sure.
Okay, I didn't know, because I thought we talked that it was state mandated, we weren't gonna open pools this year.
They're not opening that.
They're not opening state parks. Kingston's gonna open theirs. Oak Ridge is opening their outdoor pool, but not their indoor pool. Most cities that have one now are starting, because it's starting to free up a little bit, are considering opening. The only reason we didn't is because the governor said they wasn't opening the state pools, but I think his main reason is because they didn't have enough time to get them ready.
Yeah, get their lifeguards trained and all that. And we may not do swim lessons. We may have to cut back what we're doing. And the swim team won't get to go and compete and all that, but they can still practice here and compete with Kingston. But it won't be none of the travel like we did last year.
So that training is out there still for lifeguards?
Well, they're training at Kingston Thursday night, so if we say
Okay, so they are, it's
it,
available then?
Yes.
Okay.
Kingston's already got theirs ready.
Councilman Fuller, do you have something?
I think it's time to get some things going. Just need to keep it down the, vulnerable groups.
And groups of 10.
Right. But these kids been through a lot because they haven't had anything to do, and it's time to do it.
Anyone else? I tell you who's really wanting the community center open more than anybody, the quilting women.
See what they.
Yeah. All right, if that's okay with you, we'll plan on and get an email out and get public knowledge out that is June 1st, we will open the community center, we'll open the library, we'll open the tennis courts, and we'll open the recreation park, and I will get with Jacob and let you know, have Becky email you and let you know what the situation is with the kids on that part. The next item is the calendar. She gave you a copy of the May. What I'd like to do is set up a work session and first reading on the budget for Tuesday, June the 2nd. Has anybody got a problem with that?
I won't be here.
You won't be here? Anyone else? Is there a date better, Bobby, that week, or is that?
That week.
That's just a bad week for you. See, we've got to get this in before we meet so we can do the second and final reading on the 22nd. Anybody else can't be here on June the 2nd. But that whole week's bad for you, Bob? Good. Okay, we'll do it at 5:30. The budget work session will start at 5:30, and then we'll have the special called meeting immediately following and do first reading.
What day is that meeting now?
That's a Tuesday,
Okay.
June 2nd. That's okay with everybody. Okay. Councilman Bryant, do you have anything tonight?
No, sir. Well,
Okay,
yes.
go ahead.
We will pull that, cancel that if any spike comes into play over this culvert 19, right? Over the opening of the,
Yes.
Okay.
No question whatsoever. If
Okay.
we see it spiking
Okay.
and it's going up, we will cancel everything, go back to square one.
okay,
We sure will.
that's good.
And I think we probably, I hadn't talked to any of the others, but a lot of them are opening this week. And I just thought it would be better if we held off till, give it the rest of this month and then start on June 1.
Agreed.
Anything else, Councilman Bryant?
No, sir.
Councilman True?
No.
Councilman Fuller?
No, sir.
Councilman Holloway? Councilman Anderson? Councilman Jolly?
Any updates on Tar Water?
They're supposed to pave it tomorrow if it doesn't rain, and it's supposed to rain. Rick met with them today, and they were supposed to do it today. Tomorrow, I'm sorry. But Rick, and he's brought this to my attention on numerous occasions, if it rains or it's damp, he's not gonna let them do it because it won't stick. And we don't need that. So if we have to put it off, we'll have to put it off. But their plan is they come down and scraped it and did the edges again. You know, they did that once, never did make it here. They did it again. And their plan is to pave it tomorrow if there's no rain. But I'm gonna let Rick make that call. If he thinks it's too wet and he tells them no, I'm behind him 100% on it.
They'll be here in the morning if it's not raining. And if they start on it and it starts raining, they're gonna stop where they're at.
Okay. It's good. But you'll be with them, won't you? Okay.
And I noticed the county said the old airport road's open. Do we have any work to do there?
Yes, we do on the lower part. We're waiting on our response.
FEMA to give me the permission to start. 'Cause
Yes.
when they came and looked at it a year ago, they planned it out as if we were gonna go to bid. But we're gonna try to do it ourselves. And they've got to give me the go-ahead to do it.
Okay, so it is.
I mean, we could open
We can
it.
use it, right?
Well, did they look?
Huh?
Did you use
I
the
came
same?
down it today.
So they have opened.
Yeah, and all the section that was collapsing is fresh pavement. But I tell you what, you get down towards the bottom, there's some places you better pay
That's-
attention.
that's
It's
where
like
we-
whoosh.
Yeah.
They really shouldn't have opened it until we got our part done, but we're having to wait on
Yeah.
FEMA.
But we will go ahead and quick as we get the okay from FEMA, we'll try to get it fixed.
And we'll have to close it when we work on it, won't we, Rick?
Yes. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay, one other thing that's brought to my attention, and we are addressing it. You remember about the traffic light at Walmart, about the lights not being bright enough. We corrected the green ones. Got contacted today, and the yellow and red are not good. So Becky knows for a fact that Odell ordered them
And they're here.
And they're here, we just don't know if, we know Precision is the company we get, has not fixed them yet. So Rick's gonna look into it tomorrow and check and see what they have done, and we will get that done, because we think we do have the lights, and he's gonna look tomorrow to make sure they're here. Just want to let you know about that, because that was requested a pretty good time ago, and I thought we'd already done it. I think the COVID-19 update was about all I had. We are still, and going to till the end of the month, still check temperatures out here. Just thought that would be a good thing to keep doing, but we are open, so I reckon things are going well, aren't they, Becky? Going pretty smooth, so we feel good about that. So, I don't know, you let me
So
forget.
just to be clear on the May calendar, those possible workshops, that's, mark them out, that's, we'll just move to June 2nd.
We're going to June 2nd. So, did I forget anything, Becky? I think that's about all. Did I hear a motion that we adjourn? Motion by Councilman Holloway. Do we have a second? Second by Councilman Bryant. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Next on the agenda will be approval of the minutes, last meeting. I have one correction, I think, just a minor thing on page, I don't know, what page it's on? 3, I think. Up there, where's it at there, city manager? 4, page 4. The first paragraph next to the last line down, it says Mr. Phillips, that should have been Mr. Jones. It's not that, it's not affecting anything, but let's start numbering the pages where we can find them all. Got it, right here. 4th page. You can find it later, it's just, that's the only correction I have. Anyone else have any corrections, deletions, additions? If anyone hasn't found it, I'll show it to you after the meeting. Call the roll, please, Joe.
We made the motion second.
Motion to approve.
We hadn't had a motion, so thank you. Got a motion, need a second.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to approve as written with one correction.
Tom Miller,
Yes.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Steve Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Tillman,
Yes.
Terry Holland,
Yes.
myself,
Yes.
Bass.
Okay. Delegations from citizens. Anyone have anything to bring up, citizens? Okay, I got a few items. We're letting some of these guys get ahead of us on the census, for the citizens of the area. Anderson County is probably got they're 25th in the state, I guess, right in there. They got 62,400 so far counted, and Morgan County's got 53,040 some counted, and Oliver Springs, Roane County, did I say Roane County? 50. And Oliver Springs, 60% complete. So it's important that we get the census in. There's just, you can go in on the internet and get to them, or you can call them, or somebody will come around and hopefully knock on your door. If not, these occur. But it's how many representatives and things we get is based on their population, and a lot of things is based on that. So we need to get our heads counted on that. The other thing is, I want to just congratulate the Oliver Springs High School seniors. They've done a wonderful job this year, I'm sure, with great difficulties, and they didn't get to enjoy the things that other seniors in the past have enjoyed, such as baccalaureate and their prom, etc., and their graduation, formal graduation. So I know they've all done a good job of being behaved, and I haven't heard any bad news about them. And
And we just congratulate them and pray that they'll go into the next phase of their life with an open mind and open heart and hopefully healthy. Does anybody else have a comment for them? Or does Joe, you have any? Okay. Okay. Again, congratulations to you guys. The other thing was spring cleanup. We haven't had many takers. We have a dumpster at the city garage just across the bridge. You don't have to unlock anything to get into it, but it's open from 8 to 4:30. And citizens, if you have a chance to put your garbage there, we would appreciate it. We're without inmates at this time, and you don't know how much you miss them till they're missed. They're not here, and so we're not able to go around and pick up individual houses at this time, locations. Please don't dump refrigerators or stoves or ranges in there. Just try to keep it garbage and trash, normal trash you'd have around your house that you don't normally pick up, weekly pickup. We appreciate your help on that. And I think that's all I have. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. The new tractor has been out mowing throughout the week with no problems to report. The Streets Department has been buying cold patch by the ton. They have been repairing roads all over town. If any of you have areas that are in need of repair, please let me know. You can call me, you can text me, email me the locations anytime. I'll make sure a work order is produced. The potholes caused by all the rain on the 4-lane have been completed by Terry Duncan and his crew, but new ones are forming daily, so we'll be vigilant. In addition, the park was vandalized last weekend. They slung green paint all over the old girls' bathroom and the sidewalks across from the pavilion. There was an attempt to kick in the women's restroom door at the new building, but fortunately the door held and they did not gain access. The vandals also slung paint, and they caused the paint can that they used to ruin the old girls' bathroom at the new building. And there was a small amount of green paint splattered all over the outside of the brick and concrete breezeway of the new building. In addition, some materials were busted and bricks were thrown all over the property. The police chief is in the process of placing new cameras in the vicinity to discourage and apprehend future attempts to vandalize the buildings. It could have been a lot worse, but it should have never happened. That's all I have, Mayor.
That's, we've always had some vandalism down there, but we're going to prosecute whoever we catch doing the vandalism to the max that we can. So please take heed, those that's in hearing distance. Mr. Miller.
Yes, sir. We've got to get a plan to get what brush is already out here, Thomas, and get it picked up, even if we have to borrow from some of the other departments to get the manpower to do it with. The Mini X has got a thumb on it, don't it?
I believe it does.
So we can pick it up with a Mini X. Be very little manual labor. If any, just be a little bit of raking. Because I've had 5 different individuals ask me, we've got it out here, he's going to pick it up. And I'm like, well, we're short-handed. I said, I'll see if we can set up a Friday, 1 or 2 Fridays to get it up. So.
It's a good idea. I think the Mini X would be a proper tool to use for that.
I told them I would bring it to council.
Next council meeting, you want me to have some dates for everyone to be anticipating it?
Yeah, that'd probably be nice. I mean, everybody that's talked to me has had it out there since March.
Gotcha.
So, it's not no new stuff. It's stuff that's already been there anticipating us to pick it up. So.
Okay. Would the best way to do it be a call-in schedule pickup, or do you think the best way to do it would be a patrol?
We announced that they could call in if they were elderly or unable to do their own thing, and we'd try to do pickups on that, anything. If they're just physically unable to do it, we'll try to do that with spring cleanup.
Okay.
But you're right, the call-in would be get a list going and get an address, so we don't have to run all over the place looking for it.
Now, there's a couple piles in the neighborhood, and
I've got one that's been there since last year.
one from
Not mine, it's the neighbor.
So what I'll do is I'll do a combination of both. I'll have the men do a patrol without the equipment, just looking for the brush, and then.
Ain't it about time? I'm sorry.
Oh, you-
Ain't it about time for Darrell to read water meters?
Daryl's at the, yes, it is.
That'd be one way, while he's out reading meters.
It's a good idea.
Put somebody in there to ride with him and let them jot it down.
Very, very good idea. I'll do that.
Anything else?
That's all I got this time, sir.
I'll make one more comment before we go to the next. We used everybody last week that was available Saturday to mow the cemetery for Mother's Day, because it rained so much we didn't get to it, but it got mowed, and it looked good, but as you know, it'll probably be back up this week. But we did get it done, but it took overtime to do it, so. But we had several people call in, wanted it mowed because of the holiday. Okay, Mr. Bass.
I ain't got nothing at this time.
Mr. Brown.
Yes, I hope we still got some patch, right?
We have about 7 tons of patch.
Okay, well, that's Parnell and in that,
Okay.
where that turn out right there. And there's also a couple of places, if you go into Oak Ridge, the red light there at 61, 62, on the right-hand lane, that
We know about that. I don't know why we can't find it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
told them about that for the last 2 weeks.
it's been there for a pretty
Remember?
long time.
I reminded you of that, and somehow they can't find that evidently.
Well, they must not drive up the road.
Yeah, we sent him out there too.
Well,
Then.
tell him if he's out there, I'll show it to him.
Yeah.
It's right back this side of where the new pavement, when they come down years ago and paved, it's right back this side of that.
Okay.
It's not big, it
No,
won't
it's
take a few minutes.
Getting there. Have you, is anything on this turn in there at Friendly Smokers?
I told him about it, and I think that I didn't communicate well enough that it needs to be, the sides need to have a jack put in it to have
They created
somebody ran over it, right?
Well, they done that, but they also, when they put that drive-through window in there and they come around, they don't seem to want to give a person enough room. And I almost got in it, trying to pull in there where the other vehicle is.
Oh. Where's this? Smokers friendly?
Yeah, Smokers Friendly. You know, it looks like it needs, since they created that drive-through, that they're gonna have to move it or put another extension in that culvert there. To benefit the people trying to turn in. When they come out of the drive-through, they don't understand, they ain't got no room unless you get in that culvert.
So when they come into the driveway to make a right or left, they're getting into the middle of it,
Right.
and nobody can get into
Yeah.
it because there's not enough room? Okay. I'll see what we can do about that.
Appreciate that, thank you. That's all I have right now.
Mr. Stiltner.
Just some potholes. Did we address right there at the ambulance station where you cut right, the drop off right there? We did? Okay, all right.
Robert told me about that last council meeting.
Okay.
I thought we had that fixed. We don't?
We did.
We do have it fixed.
Okay. All right, I didn't know, I apologize.
If it's not, I thought it was, if it's not, I'll get it fixed. I do think it is.
And I'll get with you, I know 3 or 4 potholes need to be addressed, but the one item I would like to bring up, if you're coming out, or actually 2 items, of the bank that Citizens, or Bank of Putnam County now, you're coming through the drive-through and was it Coal Creek Apartments there is a pine tree, about 5 limbs that extend right over into the road, and if you pass somebody, you're hitting those limbs, or it's annoying. And so I know a tree guy. I've been there.
Did he have a saw with him?
No, it's like usually my personal truck.
The tree guy. We only get one.
I'll lay my saw out there in the morning.
We'll run that tractor by, and that'll make short work of it.
It would, it really would. So, but I feel bad about even saying that because
I know where you're talking about. It's
there's 4 or 5 limbs. It wouldn't take 5 minutes But literally, if you're coming out though, and there's somebody coming, you're hitting those limbs. I mean, it's just that, it's all.
So we only claim that street to the bank, and that's kind of on the corner, back corner of the bank, isn't it?
No, it's on the Cole Creek Apartments. It's on that side of the road.
Okay.
So it's not the, and the only other thing I wanted to just give a real quick shout out to Blake Leach and Leach Pharmacy, you know, a new business here in town. Very excited about as Pastor Robbie Leach's son, who now has opened a business in Oliver Springs, and so I just want to give him a real quick shout out. Excited to see new business in OS, and if you need a local pharmacy, Blake's your man. So
It's handy coming from Oak Ridge.
yes,
Yeah, it's on the right
right there on
there.
the 4 lane. I mean, it's very accessible, easy in, easy out. I mean, he's a great guy. So thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
You finished? Good job. Okay. Don? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Holland. Terry.
Did you have something, Mr. Baker?
I passed him up.
Oh, okay, I didn't see him nod.
Yeah, I went to him second, as usual.
I didn't hear. The count on the street department employees, I guess working, we got Rusty, we got the one guy out,
Yeah.
and we need more.
Okay, we have Rusty, Tony, and Bobby McGee. Oh, Tony McGee, sorry. I know, song. It's always my day.
Play us a tune.
So how's that working out on that? The boss plus two?
It's under that, it's big time.
You just gotta get what's emerged this.
When I first started, I think we had 5, 6 street people, but now it's got bigger. Think about that. Mr. Mayor, or you said drop off at the city garage. How long they gonna be there
Till they started the 18th, it'll be through the 29th.
I just gonna make sure the camera heard that. And we hear anything more about the house across from high school?
Yes.
Bids or something, or?
We got bids out.
Bids are due on the 30th for that, and Homer does have some news about that, about it not being a quick claim that the.
You know, we were tied up again with a quick claim deed. Well, that family called me from Florida Monday, this week, I think, and said that he didn't own that house. That he never had owned that house. And Rowan County doesn't have that quick claim deed on file. However, they have stamps and signatures on the quick claim I've got on my desk. But we're tearing it down.
I'd say that deed's on file.
They just can't find it.
Just can't find it, yeah, because if it's got a stamp on it.
Well, the guy that's got his signature, you've seen it, the guy that signed it, he and his wife, say they own 426, the one next door. But see, that quitclaim's got both those houses on it.
Yeah.
Remember, on one page. And so I'm thinking, Joe, down in the right-hand corner, it says to close, what do you call it, not driveway, but it goes between houses in the old town.
Alley.
To close alley. And you know, that was an alley before they built the road into the housing section there. There was an alley right there. And I'm thinking they had a surveyor come in there to present that to the town, to make a survey.
I think they did. I think that.
And it's got confused.
The parcel number of the condemnation of the property, but the property owner doesn't think it does. So the property owner sent us a letter saying he didn't claim ownership in it. So if he doesn't claim ownership in it in writing, we can condemn it.
We've notified everybody we can notify, and you've done 2 letters, and our lawyer has done a letter, and the judge says tear it down. But before that, we didn't discover this quitclaim deed. But I feel comfortable with it now. I feel comfortable.
We sent those letters out too.
Pardon?
It was good we sent those
Yes,
letters out.
yes, it is.
Went the extra mile.
It is. We give them an opportunity to salvage it if they wanted to, and they didn't claim it. So, yes, to answer your question, as soon as we get close the bids, the 29th or 30th, what's close on the bids?
30, yes, sir.
The low bidder will get it, and we'll clean that mess up, we hope.
Yeah, but you'll have to come back to town council to get some proof.
We have to come back here to get the approval to tear it down, then we'll have to come back, then we'll have to work on the property. The order we got now is to get rid of the house and bring the property up to code. So, we gotta do that, then we gotta sue for the property, for back taxes and tearing the house down, et cetera, et cetera. Anything else? Mr. Simmons?
I have one thing. I know that we're short on the crew and they got a lot to do, but while they're out, we got a lot of stop signs, street signs, stuff like that that's bent, turned around backwards. If they could check all that out when they're out. I mean, there's several of those. And I know the potholes on Cemetery Road, I'll let you know that. I probably did last meeting, but.
We patched those.
Okay, did you? I didn't go through there, sorry. That's all I got.
What about on your way home, check?
Oh, well.
Okay. Police chief.
Nothing for this one, but I want to question the money that the governor gave the city, $105,000. I was going to ask if we could put that on the agenda for the next meeting for discussion and possibly work on spending that money, be in next year's budget.
Yeah, it'll be, we can put it on the agenda
Okay.
to discuss it.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Agenda item for the next scheduled meeting. Okay, fire department.
The only thing I have is request approval to accept volunteer firefighter equipment and training grant from the state of Tennessee in the amount of $5,123.81. This is to match SCBA grant that we received this past year. So the state was able to match the portion of, we're one of 41 departments in the state that actually received this grant out of the $3 million that was requested.
This is what you just received?
This is the one we just received.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the grant. I'll second.
Got a motion, got a second, any discussion?
What was you planning on using that for?
That is our match portion. So the money that we've already, it just replenishes money that we've already spent out for the SCBA's.
Payback money.
Yeah.
Is that all, yes, sir? Do you have anything else?
No, sir.
Old business.
Go vote.
Oh, let's vote on that. Let's accept it. Well, we've already accepted it 2 or 3 times by phone, but we'll vote on that. We got a motion to accept it? We got a second?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. A motion, got a second. Call the roll, Joe.
Robert Miller.
Yes.
Jeff Bass.
Yes.
Kenny Brown.
Yes.
Jason Stillman.
Yes.
Terry Allen.
Yes.
Don Shelby.
Yes.
Passed.
Yeah, I congratulate Senator Yeager called me and asked for his phone number and all 3 of them called me, I think. John called me, I think, and Kent Coffey called me, and at the day it come out, and they said who could be first to call us and tell us. But they did want to congratulate the fire department and for submitting and congratulate you guys for doing a good job. Okay, old business?
Got a question.
Yes, sir.
Did you get any phone calls back from Power and Utility on the 3 vehicles? Yes.
Yes, sir, I did. What I got back was Corey Jenkins himself. What he said was they made a vote at their water board meeting for all 4, which is a dump truck, a backhoe, a utility body truck, and a concrete roller, an asphalt roller. Little mini roller for $59,000 for all 4. And I know that, and I had told him basically that I had a pretty specific amount that was $135,000 for 3. Would he please give me an itemized amount, and then I'll bring it back to the water board in order to determine if the board sees fit to buy like a cafeteria plan, pick and choose whichever ones of those fits our needs. So I'm waiting on that still.
Did you say 35 or 135? It's 35,000, right?
No, it was $35,000 that was approved by the water board to buy 3 of them, and it came out with their board wanting $59,000 for 4, including the mini roller. So I asked them to do a breakdown so that we could see if we still wanted individual pieces of equipment.
We would possibly get a couple of pieces for that. And I think it would benefit us to look at the truck,
Yeah.
for sure. And
Yeah.
if we have to pay 16,000, 20,000 maybe, I don't know what it'll run. Yeah, it would probably be, it's a good truck, it's low mileage.
I'm
and
talking
it's-
about for the Ford.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll get that on gov deals either, but I'm not pricing it, no.
Okay, thank you very much.
They're older models, but they're clean trucks, and they're clean vehicles. But, okay, that's old business still, right?
Yeah, I got something on old business.
Okay.
Have we heard anything from the railroad company about when they're gonna come to straighten up their mess?
Yes, yes. We've been emailing them and in contact with them through email. Their response was they were gonna have the local crew fix it, and that was last week, and it said the local crew would fix it within the week, and that was last week. So it
Yes.
still hasn't been done.
We'll get up from again tomorrow on Friday. Huh?
They are aware of it, and they are willing to fix it.
They have
just,
pictures of it, they can see how bad it
Oh, you
is.
can see how bad it is. The pictures like are worth 1,000 words. They're asking questions about it, and I just sent a picture of it. Like you just look at it, and they're willing to fix it. I think they're going to, but I guess it's scheduled. I don't know. It's slow.
Keep bringing it up, don't let us forget it.
I mean, it's a eyesore.
It looks like it's 20 years old, and it's brand new.
I mean, it's just a plain eyesore.
That's what you get when you get low bidders. Somebody said something a while ago about low bidders. They bidded that out, they didn't do that work.
I guess we give them one more try, and if it comes up to the next meeting, if they ain't, I propose that we write them a letter and tell them since they're not gonna follow through with their end of the agreement, then they come back and fix the crossings like they was. We'll get something done then, maybe.
And I'll re-email them and talk to them and see what.
I'll go to Atlanta with you. Okay, old business still? Still open for old business anymore?
This may not be old business, I do have a curiosity question. Tax-wise, how has the last 8 to 10 weeks affected the city since
It's
the?
been better than it was last year.
To be honest,
I'm being honest with you, because they had more money to spend.
And all that, yeah.
Well,
People got some more money to spend,
and we have
only because of, go ahead.
Yeah, they really do. We have a budget meeting coming up, and but what we've been noticing is that it's coming in pretty steady and pretty normal.
Chief, what about you all? The last 8 weeks?
Down.
Yeah, we're down.
Way down.
We're just now getting fired back up after everything. We try not to go out and make no more on purpose contact than we had to.
Well,
So we're getting fired back up now.
I don't think there's a business closing all this morning.
Yeah, there's, it's
Tattoo
close.
Who was
shop.
it?
The tattoo parlor was.
yeah.
Who?
The tattoo parlor was.
Beauty shop.
We'll see.
Beauty shops, barber shops, barbecue place wasn't open hardly at all, was it?
Yeah.
VJ was closed, VJ's has been closed.
Really?
No, BJ's is
Yes, VJ's Diner's been
Oh,
closed.
that diner.
Mama.
Mama's Diner, I'm sorry, VJ's wife or whoever, but anyway.
But all the main other ones is open. I don't see why.
I was asked that question at a meeting the other day, how many it was.
Beer tax is way up.
But people got the stimulus money and people were at home and they had nothing to do but spend what money they could get and have, and they wanted, some people went to stock up on groceries and stuff, so probably more money was spent. Gas prices are down, so they bought more gas and traveled around more stores, I guess. But okay, anything else? Old business? New business. Item 1, discussion of Lloyd Buster Jones Emmett work crew contract. You want to open that, or?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. As we were preparing the new contract, we sent information over to MTAS, and the question was, that came up on the classification of his employment. Is he an employee, or is he an independent contractor? So it got us all thinking, and it got us concerned that we were misclassifying him, or that he was being misclassified. So we sent the question to MTAS, and I'll read. It starts on page 5. This is the email. This is the actual email chain that was sent in from MTAS. So you got to read these backwards. So on page 5, it begins with me writing, "I am worried about recommending the signing of a contract for an independent contractor for the town of Oliver Springs City Council to sign. The job in question is the person who watches the inmate crew from the prison. I do not want to miscategorize him and place the town in any jeopardy if they enter into a contract. As for the person who watches the inmates, and if he is an independent contractor or an employee, here are some details of his employment. The town provides the tools, the equipment, the mowers, the weed eaters, the gasoline, the transportation for him and the inmates with a town-provided van. The town feeds the inmates, and the inmates are signed out to him, but they are released for the town's use only. The town is also allowed to pick up the inmates with provided training. We set his work hours, and the town gives him vacation and holiday pay per his contract. In addition, we are his only client, and his compensation is set at a weekly occurring amount. I would like your opinion because I do not want to recommend anything that is not correct to the city council. The meeting is tonight at 7 p.m. and there is another contract being prepared as we speak. I would like your opinion for the council's consideration to ensure the letter of the law is adhered to and that the town is not put in any legal risk. And then they responded back to me at 4:39. Stephanie O'Hare wrote, per your request, I am responding to your question in writing. I share your concerns about the contract and treating this individual as an independent contractor. The parameters surrounding this person's relationship to the city require that he be classified as an employee under the Fair Labor Standard Act. This sheet can be found at, and the internet address published by the Department of Labor provides the following factors to be considered by the U.S. Supreme Court to determine whether an employee relationship exists. And they are such as the court has held that it is the total activity or situation which controls among the factors which the court has considered significant are the following, and if 7-0. 1, the extent to which the services rendered are in an integral part of the principal's business. 2, the
Permanency.
what is that?
Permanency.
Permanency. So the permanency, that makes sense, of the relationship, so if it's permanent or not. The amount of the alleged contractor's investment in facilities and in equipment. The nature and degree of control by the principal. The alleged contractor's opportunity for profit and for loss. The amount of initiative, judgment, or foresight in open market competition with others required for the success of the claimed independent contractor. Number 7, the degree of independence, business organizations, and the operation. Since this contract is ongoing for at least a year, the city owns a large portion of the assets. The parameters and the time are controlled by the city, and the lack of opportunities for profit and for loss. A court would likely find that the individual's relationship to the city is an employment relationship. So she recommends that the city provide an offer of employment rather than a contract to the person and individual that the employment is an at-will. A contract would create a property interest for the individual in that position and would jeopardize the individual's at-will status. All personnel policies must be followed for this employee, and the benefits must be provided, including offering the employee insurance. A rate of pay should be established that takes all costs, including insurance, into consideration. Further, I know no reason for this employee to be considered exempt, and this employee's time would be subject to overtime regulations. You will find factors for the Department of Labor establishing whether an employee is considered exempt here with another internet address. The potential for overtime should be a factor in establishing the rate of pay. So, As we were preparing the new contract, MTAS did their ruling, or their opinion, and that's what it is. And he is classified as an employee and not as an independent contractor. The position is an employee-employer relationship, and the council should not vote on the contract. Omer was in me during the conference call, and what their exact words were, do not vote on a contract for him as a contract employee. That was their exact words. And so, with the employee-employer status, the employment according to the IRS's definitions and the Fair Labor Standards Act definitions of a contract employee, I would recommend a vote to cancel the current contract and over the next 30 days, figure out a way to hire Buster as an employee with the city to watch the inmates, or to hire someone to watch the inmates if Buster declines. That's what I recommend.
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
First of all, in this, that's their recommendation, right?
Their legal recommendation, yes.
A legal recommendation. Well, anyway, as it's stated here, that the city owns everything he does, right?
Everything.
Okay, if you, and I'm not saying he'd be willing to work, but say if he was hired to work as a regular employee, we still do all that plus his insurance, overtime, so it's actually gonna cost more.
Well, it depends. It'd probably cost the exact same because you would take his current pay and you'd reduce it to put the amount of the insurance in there. Because if we were to rehire the position, it would be based on all the factors, and even they recommended it to adjust.
What gets me is, we've done this stuff for years. Even way back, years and years and years and years. There's still 2 towns in this county that does it the same way we do it. They're not having no problem with it. I think it would be wrong. I think we should keep it the same way it is with certain clauses in it, you know, it's what a lot of us want to change. And if he don't want to take it, then you're gonna get us the same problem we had before. And I'm not saying Rusty or any of the other crew would do this, but it can happen. These people, they're not gonna be watched properly. It's just, to me, it's bad. And to me, as far as I'm concerned, this is just a recommendation. I think it would cost more. We should, I mean, what about these other 2 towns? That, you know, they're doing the same way we're doing. Now Kingston, you got a regular city employee, right?
Kingston don't have none right now.
Well, but when the crew's out.
When it's out, we have a regular city employee that.
Is that for inmates, or is that just for county inmates?
No, that's for state inmates. He gets out and works right with the crew.
But that's his job, as a city worker too, right?
Yeah, when we don't have the inmates, he does everything that needs to be done in Park and Rec, so.
But anyway, that's my opinion.
You know, this is something, like I said, that just happened. Like Don said, we've had this for years, but I'll be honest with you, it's been on my mind, and I say it heartily because we paid this man up to $7,000, $8,000 to do nothing, and that's not right.
He is doing so.
Huh?
He's doing what he's supposed to do.
No, it's at home. That's what he's done. In the last 7 to 9 weeks, he has not worked. And that's not fair to the workers we have right now, or to the people that pay taxes, and it's not fair to them, for him to get paid. And somehow or another, I'm ashamed that I was part of a contract and didn't foresee this, but how did anybody know this was going to happen? And, you know, if anything we ever write another contract with him. If you don't work, you don't get paid on a situation over a normal
We had
vacation.
other city employees staying home, they got paid.
Well, they're city
What's the
employees
difference?
too.
Huh?
They're city employees.
Well, according to this
Well, they
outfit,
got-
he's a city employee.
Yeah, we hire them.
No?
You just said you didn't want to vote.
Yeah.
Can I make a motion?
Well, this,
I'll make a motion that we discontinue this contract that we have with him at this present time.
is that the end of your motion? Okay, got a motion.
I second.
Got a motion, got a second. Any more discussion?
Mayor, what's your opinion?
I'll give you my honest opinion, and a lot of people on this panel's not gonna like it, and a lot of citizens not gonna like it. I think the man does a great job. I don't think anybody can handle the inmates any better than he can. I don't think we can afford to do without the inmates, and I think there's a good chance we'll lose the inmates eventually if we don't have them under good control, as we have now. I do know, though, if anything happens, we have to be in compliance with the law. But I feel bad about it. I feel terrible about it, personally. I wish, the virus hadn't happened. We'd been working right on like we were, and he would still be the inmate leader. I think if we don't keep him under new contract, this contract's going to cease if y'all vote to cease it. If we present him with a new contract, and if we can't make a deal with him, we'll suffer from it eventually.
Guaranteed.
If we can make a deal with him on contract, make him a city employee, we got a lot of questions asked. Does he need insurance? I don't know his situation, whether he needs insurance or not. That's $9,000 to $11,000 a year, depends on what kind of insurance you got that you pay employees. I thought we had it, I thought I was like him, Don, I thought we had a good thing going, and we did have, and us knowing what we know now, I don't know if we could just go ahead and forget that. We'd have to make some amendments to the contract.
I was gonna ask, can we make an amendment to the contract? I mean, not that I get it that there's a lot of workers that work out at X10, Y12, Y25, that they've been home for 2 months being paid. I don't get to sit home and get paid.
I know that.
My men don't either.
Okay, you might not have been at the meeting, but we questioned this at the meeting, and we checked the contract, whether he should be paid or not, while he didn't have inmates. And as the contract read, we had to pay him. As soon as he found out that, he came and reported to work. He agreed to come to work, yes.
So he's been working?
He's been working this week, yes.
You said this week?
And he was glad to come back this week, yes.
This week, on the week he's working?
Yes.
What is his functions?
He's been working in the shop right now, building some shelving and stuff, and he can do whatever's required, try to straighten the shop up, try to make that area look better.
In other words, can he take that place of that employee that's out?
Which one? Who's out?
There's one out?
Yes, he'll do anything we ask him to do. That's not against the law or not a safety hazard.
Well, now, if he was to get hurt, we still responsible?
I can't answer that, Joe.
Let me throw in some thoughts here. Municipal Technical Advisory Service has attorneys on their staff that give opinions. You must understand an opinion is an attorney guessing how a court would rule in a given situation based on facts that the attorney is given. When an attorney gives an opinion letter, if you omit one or two material facts, the attorney could reach one conclusion, like Mr. Jones should be an employee. If you inject 2 or 3 other facts, it may move it to where he could be an independent contractor. You inject 2 or 3 additional facts, and it becomes a coin toss as to which it should be. Professionally, I got mixed feelings because MTOS and the Fair Labor Standards Act may very well lean Mr. Jones to be more of an employee than a contract laborer. But notice that the city manager read that most likely a court would rule that he would be an employee. Those two very important and key words, most likely. That's not saying absolutely one way or the other. Now, we've discussed and offered some concern about the fact that he draws pay to stay home. Well, to me, that's a pretty substantial fact that he's an independent contractor. Let me give you an example. In my profession, a lot of companies, banks, and towns and so forth will hire an independent attorney that's got an office, maybe out of the home or maybe somewhere else, and pays him $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year, for him to be on call to answer questions or to do minor legal work, not to necessarily represent people, represent the city in litigation. And he may not get a call that entire month. He may get a call every day. He may get 3 calls a day. And in that example, if he doesn't get any calls, he's made a huge profit of $1,000 a month, and some may say he's getting paid for doing nothing. But wait a minute now, he's being paid to be on call, and that is worth something. On the other hand, if he gets 5 calls a day for 30 days, he'll probably lose money doing the research and the consultation. See, and it's all kind of negotiation. And when Mr. Jones is paid to stay at home, you're paying him to where he is available when these prisoners are available, and he has unique knowledge and skill. So I could, and I have as a lawyer, drafted contracts that indicate that the individual is in fact an independent contractor. And I put in the contract why we believe the person employing this independent contractor and independent contractor himself believe that he's an independent contractor. Now, I can't draft a contract for the city because I can't do legal work for the city. But in my private practice, I have done that. Now, I rather suspect that Mr. Jones does not want to take a pay cut because he wants the dollars that's called for in his independent contract, because that's what he wants to be on call, that's what he wants to manage the prisoners. And if you back his salary down to start including benefits, he may not want to work. Of course, he'd have to speak for that himself, but I just throw that out. Now, it's been also my experience in auditors that come in to the finance office and the water department office about the employees, where we've had some independent contractors in the past, in particular accountants, that they're very, very quick to classify an independent contractor as an employee. Why? Because they get tax revenue from the city as an employer if the independent contractor is classified as an employee. And they classify him as an employee because they want the tax revenue. Now, they can do that. And, you know, I've not had debates with them, but if they came in and accused me of that, you know, I'd disagree with them. I'd appeal it within your bureaucracy, because the only reason they want that done that way, now they'll tell you the other reason, but the only reason is an underlying revenue, tax revenue. Now, if Mr. Jones is an independent contractor, he pays Social Security, he pays his income tax, he's responsible if he's hurt on the job, he has all these opportunities to be responsible. If he's an employee, then we pay workers' comp on him. We would have to pay 8% Social Security roughly, and he would have to pay 8% Social Security, and he would have to designate how many exemptions he would want for his withholding. We'd have to offer him the city insurance. May very well have to carry him, I don't know. Maybe not family coverage, but I might have to carry him based on the insurance contract. We pay unemployment compensation, because when he gets laid off as an employee, he's entitled to draw. Right now, he's not. So there's all these advantages and disadvantages on both sides. And I don't have a black and white answer. I can say the town on the safe side could work with him and put him to work as an employee. The town with a strongly drafted contract could put him to work as an independent contractor. I do know if he were injured on the job severely, substantially, he might want to sue the town stating that he should be classified as employed to try to get to workers' comp. See? I've also seen some employees in the coal business where the independent truck drivers that owned a coal truck and drove 1 or 2 trucks and hauled coal to TVA, the workers' comp considered them to be employees of the coal company with which they contracted, when in fact they were not. They were paid per ton, but the insurance business classified them as employees. So even though he's an independent contractor, upon audit, our insurance company could require the town to pay workers' comp insurance. Now, Mr. Schillings has mentioned a couple of towns in Rome County have done this, and you know, it may be one of these things that's never created a problem, so it's under the radar. But if there's a problem, it could very easily rise to the top, and we have to deal with it. So, you know, I don't have a black and white answer in this.
Another comment, Mayor?
Go ahead.
I keep bringing this up, but over the years, we had a lot of trouble with inmates being not properly watched. We've had visitations, we've had drunks, we've had drunk deals, we've had stolen vehicles. And the city lost that crew, and it was taken away for several years. And I'm not patting me on the back or anybody else, but it took a lot of persuasion to get this crew back. A lot of persuasion to get it. I had to do it. I had to personally take them in order to get the town back. Now, I feel like I fought hard for that. And the council and the mayor at that time agreed. Now, is this what y'all want to do? You want to lose this crew and hire more people, which is going to cost you more money? You know, it took a lot to get this crew back. And I'm not going to sit here and vote to get rid of it. The town, you got an individual who can watch these people. Now, you can't catch everything. You know, they're going to get stuff on you. But he can stop the critical stuff. And I'm not saying the city employees can't do it. I'm just going from the past. That's all I'm saying.
I've got something for you.
Go ahead.
First comment, we can't afford a third lawyer. Those got me kind of confused. What's the status on getting inmates?
I don't know.
I see, it's enough right there. If we're gonna go on like that, I agree.
What I know about getting the inmates back is,
What if it's 3 more months? What if it's 6 more months?
well,
What if it's a year?
that's true.
I mean, literally.
Well, if we don't get them back, if we stay like we are right now, he'll be one of the guys mowing and doing city work if he willing to do that type of contract. But we might not. But correct me if I'm wrong, Buster. Are they not getting visitation back shortly?
I was told Monday that the captain of the prison spoke with the commissioner, and they're planning on starting visitation back either the first or second weekend of June. They stopped visitation several weeks before they stopped the cruise. So I question, do you think maybe the cruise will get started back sooner? And their speculation, just speculation, was yes. So that's not a definite, it's just speculation. But that would probably put us, you know, the next couple of weeks.
That's a good sign if they start visitation back.
But we haven't contacted, I mean, no offense to you, that's kind of a biased opinion, but we ain't called nobody and asked.
Yeah, last time I talked to him, it was before last meeting, and he had said, we ain't thought about it yet.
I don't know how we gonna get them in 2 weeks, they ain't thinking yet. No offense. And what makes me nervous, this weekend, is we're busting loose everywhere. If we're going backwards, for more exposure and stuff, we're burning more time up. I mean, so we gotta, in my opinion, end it and start from scratch. I agree with Don, but if we ain't got nobody, we ain't got nobody. I mean, I'm kind of in a field that I've been an electrician for all my life, but I can still do carpenter work, plumbing, or anything. So I run out of electric work here, I could do the other ones. He's got an expertise
I don't really know your other, I mean, your professional.
I've talked to him about that. He's done everything most of us has done, helping run the farm and doing hard jobs of growing up. And he's more experienced. He can work. He's a labor. He can do labor, but.
But I've heard building a shed. I mean, we've got guys making less money out here mowing and weed eating and hard labor stuff. I mean,
Okay.
I feel like it's going to be. I haven't heard no complaints.
This is not a for and against, but we got 6 guys doing that when we're working him. We got 1 when we're not. We couldn't hire 3 for what we put.
Can we just not postpone it for 2 weeks till our next meeting?
What my suggestion would be, you got a motion on the floor and you got a second. Joe, correct me if I'm wrong. You got a motion on the floor and you got a second. We can vote. The motion was to cancel the contract as presently written on him. That would terminate his employment with us tonight. And then we have the next meeting or a month to get a contract written and whatever we're going to do.
Yeah, if you were to cancel it tonight, you still have 30 days before.
He'd get paid for 30 days, but would you be willing to come to work while we're working this out?
I'll be honest, Homer, if you're gonna cancel my contract, then I'm gonna have to look for a job because, as far as I know, in 30 days, I'm without. And.
Well, I know, but our present day contract says we'll give 30-day notice either way.
I mean, put me on the spot right now.
Is that the way it reads exactly?
I mean, I'm going.
I think our contract at present reads that either party could give a 30-day notice. If we give you a 30-day, does that don't mean you're going to quit? While we were doing this, we'd be working on your contract that hopefully you could accept.
Well, it seems as though there's a few people that are pretty determined that they don't want me here. And I think a vote of canceling my contract would really show that to me. And if I'm not wanted, I don't want to be here.
Now, can I ask, I've heard the contract 6 times. I'm kind of lost with Thomas's. We're going forward with the contract, MTAS says it's not.
MTAS said to hire him as an employee because we treat him as an employee because we provide the equipment, we provide the materials, we provide the labor that he watches, we provide a set schedule, we provide a set amount of pay, and all those are IRS standards for what makes an employee and what makes an independent contractor. He falls under the category of employee is what MTAS was saying, and they were saying to hire him as an employee, but do not do a contract for an independent contractor because he doesn't fit that classification, and it violates IRS standards and the federal law, Fair Labor Standard Act. So he doesn't fit into the right class. He's in the wrong classification, and
As an employee or as a?
He fits in as a contractor. He fits in the wrong classification. He fits into the employee classification. So MTAS's recommendation was to hire him as an employee, but not sign a contract as a independent contractor because he's not.
So what we're going to do, I've heard work on the contract, change it.
Well, I guess the contract is probably out because this contractor has no date, right?
Well, yeah.
The contract he's president under has no date. My name's on that contract, and my name's solely on that contract because I trusted the people before me who wrote that contract that they had a good contract, and I didn't go check it. And that happens. That happens.
The contract is good. The question becomes the subject matter of the contractor, whether he would be an independent contractor or an employee. If the court declares him to be an employee, then he draws that same pay. The town would just have to, upon audit, pay all the Social Security and income tax and unemployment tax and workers' comp and so forth, and the town just have to back up and continue to pay that. But as a footnote, the way to solve it is ask Mr. Jones if he wants to work for whatever an employee works per hour, 40 hours. And if he says yes, then maybe the motion second could be withdrawn and and be put on the agenda for the first or second meeting in June, and hire him as an employee and let him come to work. And then when we get the prison crew, he simply comes off as whatever the city's got him doing and supervise the prison crew. If he doesn't want to work for that, and he still wants to be paid, then you'd have to decide to continue this contract or hire him in at the wage he wants as an employee.
Well, the agenda said discuss the contract. It didn't say anything about canceling the contract, but when your motion comes on the floor to cancel a contract, what?
I think the discussion would be wrong.
Sir?
I think the discussion of the contract, the word discussion, we brought enough to amend it or cancel it or stay with what we've got. I mean, I think it's broad enough.
I know last meeting we brought up the fact that we discussed canceling. We were waiting
Was that
for the next meeting.
Was that the wording we used to discuss canceling?
We'll just get with the prison and find out what's going on till the next meeting.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes,
How
sir.
many employees have we got making $653 a week?
Besides me? You know what I make.
I don't even know.
I don't know the scales. I don't have it in front of me. I would have had that with me, but it's,
Not
If
many.
we bring him back at this pay rate,
The water plant people do.
how are these other employees gonna feel? There's gonna be some ill feelings of knowing he's getting this amount of money and they're getting a substantial
well,
less.
why would you charge them to work six people? Would you want them the
You
same
ain't
as a
talking
laborer?
6 people, we're talking one.
Well, you're talking one today, but the minute they come,
Be till something changes.
then what we're gonna do then? Negotiate again or what?
And I'm just saying that if we bring him in as an employee, like you want to do, and pay him this amount of money, then he's gonna be paid more than some of our longtime workers.
Well, let me have an understanding. I chair this thing here, right? You guys fire and hire, okay?
Okay.
And
But
I don't appreciate you saying what you want to do. I've given you my honest opinion, and that's what I'm here for. And if I'm asked my honest opinion, as Mr. Stiltner asked me, I would have said, if I'd had my way about it, we wouldn't have disturbed this in any way. Okay? That was my honest opinion, and that's where I stand. Okay?
I'm just saying my honest
Well, here's
opinion.
another thought too. He does supervise 6 employees or 6 people that have questionable backgrounds and, you know, are looking to be mischievous in ways that can create a whole lot of trouble. And from what he said a minute ago, if you terminate his contract, we won't get him back. So at that point, if the prison crew becomes available, will the town be able to get someone to supervise the prison crew?
We have someone, as I understand it, trained, I don't know.
Now, the next thing is that if we don't get the prison crew, for whatever reason, we'd have to hire probably 2 or 3 employees to do the work of those 6 prisoners.
I'll call for a point of order.
Go ahead.
Point of order, let's vote, get it over
You
with.
call for a question?
I'll call for a question.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second.
Can I make one more suggestion?
Go ahead, one more comment.
Can
We're
we-
not supposed to, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry, Don. Could we make an amendment to the contract and just say, hey, you know, for 2 weeks until, you know, because, I mean, he said maybe 2 weeks, right? That they could come back online. For 2 weeks, he work as a city employee, you know, and that way the town is getting its money's worth.
Jason, the problem is you send the wrong classification to begin with.
I can point something else out.
Yes, sir.
Let me make it clear, I guess, that if this passes, he's got
Still
30 days, but he's getting paid for 30 days.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I mean, you got 30 days. So cancel, you got 30 days to get her stuff together, but really, you do what you want. I mean, you got a little leeway, you're still getting paid. We got 30 days to figure out. Then we gotta redirect and see what you got to deal with, and that's to me what we got to deal with.
You could take this up probably the second meeting in June and see exactly what the prison's doing.
But we're adding 30 more days. If I want to put this off, 30-day clock. I'm not in no hurry to get rid of it, but I want that 30-day clock.
Well,
Okay.
if you vote to cancel it, he may just walk out the door and say, thank you, you can mail him a check, I won't be back.
That's his choice.
Got a motion, got a second. Question's been called. Any more, no more discussion. Call the roll, Joe.
Could you read the vote again?
Let's see. There's a motion by Miller to give Mr. Jones notice to terminate the contract, and a second by Mr. Brown.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, got a motion, got a second. Call the roll, Joe.
Robert Miller,
Yes, sir.
Jeff Bass,
No.
Kenny Brown,
Yes.
Jason Stilton,
No.
Terry Holland,
Yes.
Don Shelley.
No.
It's 3-3, Mayor.
No.
It failed, 3-4.
Okay, I want something. I want everything that they've been caught with, the phones, I want all that paperwork in my mailbox in 2 weeks. Everything since he's had them, I want to know about. Everything they've been wrote up for, I want to know about.
That's probably all, they probably won't let you do that, Robert. That's probably all classified stuff.
I think you're gonna have to pursue that, Joe, if I'm right. He's going to have to pursue that through the prison, right?
Well, how about this? We need a mower. We need a replacement for both Joneses, right? Oh, yeah. The other Mrs. Jones is out. You know, we need somebody to fill that seat, weed eater, lawnmower, or whatever. We're treating them like employees working.
Yeah, you'll be able to work in the morning, right? He can ride a lawnmower, he can weed eat or whatever.
I might like to hear him go Russ gets the phone call that he's got more help. But I see him struggling, trying to keep up.
Well,
between these showers and all that stuff.
Now, what are we gonna do about his classification being wrong? Is that just gonna forget about it?
Well, let me be blunt. You are accepting MTOS as gospel. Well, the IRS has not sent us a letter. The IRS this is just somebody's opinion. Now, if the IRS sent an agent down here and said you have to classify them for tax purposes as an independent employee, then yes, we'd have to, the contract would stay in place. From a legal standpoint, from a tax standpoint, we would have to, the town would have to absorb the difference in the taxes that the IRS would demand. In other words, just because the IRS says that an employee, that a person that's working is an employee, doesn't necessarily mean for state law purposes that they're an employee. They could be for state law purposes an independent contractor, but for tax purposes, an employee. I mean, that's the way the IRS operates. You see, this council has, the motion failed by 3-4, with the mayor breaking the tie. And so at that point, there were 4 votes essentially to disregard at this time the input from MTOS. You see, whatever MTOS recommends doesn't mean the end of the world. And quite candidly, I have had some sharp professional disagreements with MTOS as to business operations of the city. And they have not yet convinced me in several instances that they were right. And I tell them that, hey, your opinion is just as good as mine until we get a court ruling that says one side won, one side lost. It's just that simple. Because everybody's got opinions. They're like certain body parts. Everybody has one. Some are just better than others. Pardon the French.
Is there?
He's got something in the back there.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I could answer Mr. Miller's question if he's okay with that.
Okay.
I am.
April 2nd made 2 years that I've been here. My crew has been locked up twice. One time, I took days off and another employee got the inmates. The next Monday morning, my first day back at work, the police department caught a woman that said she was dropping a package for my inmates. They didn't catch anything on my inmates, but the prison came and locked the inmates up and conducted an investigation. Just recently, they found cell phones in the van. One of the inmates that worked for me claimed that he was responsible for the cell phones. That's the only 2 incidents that have occurred in over 2 years since I've been here. Now, my question to you, well, no, I won't go.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I got nothing against you personal, Buster.
I have nothing against you either. I mean, I appreciate what all you guys do, and I know you're looking out for the best interest, and it's not a personal thing, I understand that. I do think there may be somebody in the room that has a personal issue with me, but it'll all work out.
I mean, we're stewards of the taxpayers' dollars, and when people come to me wanting answers that I can't give them, I look stupid because I'm not being kept informed of what, of everything that's going on.
While not doing anything illegal, I want to try to keep an inmate crew working, okay?
Well, that's what
If the inmates right now are locked up, or they're not allowed out right now, or in a lull period, he's going to work as a worker, and this is probably not over. I think everybody knows that. And what we got to do is, if we make a decision here tonight to say, if we had that he's gone, right? He walks out and says, I'm done with it. Who's going to explain why we're out here with that short 6 inmates when we can't find anybody qualified to guard them? I know we got some guys that have, but they're not qualified, in my opinion. I'm not the police chief, who would probably tell you the same thing. They have an absolute, nobody looks ahead and said, we're going to lose 6 employees if we lose this guy. Nobody's thinking about that, I don't think. We can't afford to hire 6 more guys that starts out above entry level. We can't afford to hire 2. We can't afford to hire 1, really. But we only got 1 that's experienced enough that we can hire. If it comes to it, the best qualified would get it. I don't want to fuss at anybody, and I don't want anybody to leave this meeting and don't sleep well tonight on something I've said or something they've said. I think each individual has a prayer type they give, whether it's Southern Baptist or Holiness or whatever you might pray. I think we all ought to pray about decisions before we come here and after we leave. We don't need to get our blood pressures up. This is business. It's all it is. Tomorrow's going to be here if the good Lord lets us stay. And we can amend things that we might have done wrong tonight. But I'm done with it for tonight. Does anybody else? Go ahead, sir.
Robert mentioned he doesn't like the thought that people ask him he doesn't know. I share this bit of wisdom with you. My father practiced medicine, as you all know, here for many, many years. And when I was a young lawyer in open office, he called me boy. He said, it's not a sin to tell you, he called them patients and all their clients. He said, it's not a sin to tell your patients you don't know. Because many times you don't, but you tell them you'll find out. He said the sin is telling them you don't know and then not finding out and getting back with them. Because you may be able to help them, you may not, you may have to refer them to a specialist. So if people ask me about city business that I don't know, I tell them I don't know. But if it's such that I feel like that I should give them an answer, of course some of it is not within my jurisdiction because I don't pretend to be the mayor, councilman, city manager, whatever, because I don't speak for them and I refer the people to them. But if it's within something that I think I can answer, I say I don't know, but I'll find out. So that's what we're here for. That's what the mayor and the city manager and city recorder and the finance officer are. If you don't know, talk to us and we'll figure out an answer and we'll help you get back with the people. And I'm referring to all the councilmen.
My no vote was what I felt was the best for the city at this time, at this moment.
My suggestion, if I may speak,
You may.
I'd like to make a motion that the first meeting of the month, which is in 2 weeks, he said we may have the prisoners back by then. If we don't have the prisoners back by then, we bring it back before council to discuss further things. I mean, it's,
Or at least investigate,
yeah,
you know, when,
if they got,
you know, I know Buster said that he talks to them, but could Elmer and Thomas reach out to the jail system and the warden or whoever and say, hey, what's the status? What do we think?
I'll drive out there and talk to them, and I'm sure Thomas will go with
Warden and
us.
stuff ain't gonna know until the commissioner tells, well, to the governor tells, right?
The governor's the only one that's gonna answer this question unless it gets ordered by somebody higher. I hope the Lord will speak in and take charge and say, let's go back and do business, but that's just my opinion
Well,
also.
as a point of parliamentary procedure, Mr. Bass can make a motion, it can be seconded, but as a matter of parliamentary procedure, you can always put that on the agenda. Any councilman can call in and say, I want such and such put on the agenda for discussion.
either way. I mean,
So
that
it can
way-
be done. I'm not sure June, the first meeting in June will be quick enough. I tend to think.
Quick enough or too quick?
Huh?
You say quick enough or too
Well,
quick?
Too quick.
Yeah, I think it's too quick, 2 weeks, I don't think
it'd be more
anything
like July or August when they make that decision, because they'll look at the way the numbers rise.
Yes.
The Supreme Court of Tennessee has eliminated jury trials in civil and criminal matters until July 3rd by order, and the other courts are opening up on a much slower basis. And with that in mind, my gut feeling is that they will look at the coronavirus infection rate and all these related numbers through June to decide, the Supreme Court to decide whether it should be lifted or extended or modified in some fashion. And I rather suspect the governor and his staff are pretty much trying to do the same thing, where the several branches of government are working together to figure out exactly when some of these areas of need can be more further opened up. It's just so fluid.
How about if we put it on the agenda for the second meeting in June?
That's fine.
Which would be June the 4th.
Be the 18th, would it?
18.
The second meeting will be 18th.
That way, it's plenty enough time, they should make a decision by then. If not, then we do what we gotta do.
But between now and then, Buster, you'll be showing up at the city every day, right?
Ready to have it.
All right, cool.
And could we have like in his defense, I just heard the shell comment.
The what?
Could we have I just heard he did a shell, I'm sure he was going to have.
He was paid more.
But could we have a daily report what he did, you know, every day?
That's kind of, I mean, come on, we did that before.
Well, we don't know what you're doing on these.
Mr. Brown wanted a report, so I gave it to him, and he never brought it back up in front of everybody. It was just squashed after he asked, like I wasn't doing anything all winter.
We can give you the city manager assigned jobs report, I guess. Can you handle that?
Yeah, I can, yeah, if you'll,
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know what you're doing.
Well, what's everybody else doing? I mean, that's what I'm saying. You just keep questioning me and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I've been here every day this week, you know, I told you I'm gonna be here. I'm not gonna be here doing nothing, I'm gonna be working.
Well, I'm just,
He signs the jobs every morning, the city
well, I'm
manager
just,
does.
if we're helping the street department, I'll get that, you know.
Well, we'll make a list, I guess I'll help him, but I'll make a list of what everybody's assigned duties are and what they've accomplished, but,
So does the street supervisor not assign his personnel what to be done for the day?
he signs the supervisor's jobs, they sign it to the men, yes. And it's up to them to keep up with what they're doing and what they're not doing. We expect everybody to be honest on that.
Why should we micromanage it?
But I don't know.
You got supervisors that tells them what to do.
Was he working under a supervisor or?
Yeah, Rusty and Thomas.
I think Thomas would be his immediate supervisor.
I'm sorry, you're a kid, you know, you can't be trusted.
Well, no, you guys push around like that, I just want to know some good answers. And if it's good stuff, it might help the decision on what we make.
Perhaps it might be appropriate for Brother Holland to talk with Brother Thomas, you know, and get just a phone report or report of what he does and other employees might do, rather than have to go through writing. I'm just trying to figure out a way to avoid, you know, reams and reams of paper.
I don't see rings.
Just,
But I know we got a contractor, what Tony McGee's, we eating and mowing the whole time. And like Mr. Brown said, I don't know what he's getting paid for getting paid the same, but I want Mr. McGee to get tore up because, you know, he's got somebody getting paid more. I mean, you running that, your real job everywhere else. You don't want your morale to get down, employees or other contractors, or somebody getting paid more than you, not doing equal stuff.
Since you mentioned that again, what he said, he asked who else was making the money I'm making. Well, everybody's making more than me in reality, because if they're not seeing it on their paycheck, they're getting all the benefits that I don't get. So
they
I'm
make quite a
still
bit
the least paid employee that you have.
I agree, but this is.
it would be kind of like you're as a skilled electrician, at Y12, wherever you're working, and you do that job all this year, and they say, wait a minute, we've had a lull here, we can't use you here no more. You're gonna go over to this other building, and you're gonna still be an electrician, but you're gonna start out lower pay.
I have
What'd
no
be the difference?
benefits, and yes,
You wouldn't take that, would you? I don't believe.
Well, they never would let me stay at the house for, like Mr. Brown said, 7.
Well, how many employees at Y12 stay at your contract employee?
Yeah, I do government work.
I mean, you're a contract employee, that's back where we're at again.
Did we have other employees that stayed home?
They went home and they went home on an on-call basis. They
I thought you said they worked Monday and Friday, and they was off Tuesday, Wednesday.
The office girls.
Yeah,
the office
they're on an on-call
They
basis.
were getting paid, right?
Of course.
Well, you're getting confused with contractors and employees again.
Yeah, that's true.
Same thing.
if I'm going to work, I'm an employee.
Okay, we're having just an open discussion here, it appears like it's, the business has been taken care of. Let's
Thank you, we'll see you tomorrow.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
motion adjourned, everybody in favor, please stand.
Missed the final prom. They missed the graduation. They miss, a lot of them have senior trips. Those were canceled. Again, after working that hard, that long, I just hate it for all those seniors. Just personal stories, and you've heard me mention this school before, but Catawba College, where I used to do play-by-play, our director, Laura Beth, graduated from Catawba. They had a baseball team, I think, that lost one game this year, Mark. They were probably headed to the Division II